Are the economic risks of the accelerating climate crisis underestimated? Recent research, including a report from the University of Exeter and Carbon Tracker, warns that prevailing economic models severely underestimate the risks posed by the accelerating climate crisis, potentially leading to a catastrophic global financial crash. These models, widely used by governments, central banks, investors, and policymakers, typically link climate damages to gradual increases in average global temperatures, predicting only modest, manageable reductions in economic growth. They assume impacts will remain linear and predictable, allowing steady adaptation within existing systems. However, climate scientists consulted in the study emphasized that this approach fundamentally misrepresents reality. As warming exceeds thresholds like 2 degrees Celsius, damages are expected to manifest through extreme weather events, cascading failures across interconnected systems, tipping points in Earth systems such as ice sheets or ecosystems, and compounding shocks that amplify one another unpredictably. Such nonlinear systemic disruptions, floods crippling supply chains, droughts triggering food crises, or mass migrations straining infrastructure, could overwhelm economies far beyond what standard models forecast. Rather than slight GDP dips, these could erode the very foundations of growth, rendering recovery extremely difficult or impossible in a destabilized world. Experts, including Dr. Jesse Abrams, argue that relying on these flawed tools fosters dangerous complacency, misguides investment and policy, and leaves societies unprepared for severe, abrupt breakdowns. The report calls for urgent recalibration of economic modeling to incorporate climate science insights on thresholds and cascades, warning that ignoring these realities risks not just economic slowdown, but a profound collapse of global financial stability. Isn't economic collapse inevitable in collapsing infrastructures, forests, land, and ocean ecosystems? Your concern is valid and reflects a growing body of research and expert opinion. While economic collapse is not strictly inevitable in the face of degrading infrastructures and ecosystems, the risk increases significantly as these foundations deteriorate. Here's why. 1. Foundational role of ecosystems. Forests, land, and oceans provide vital services, clean air, water, food, and climate regulation. Their decline threatens agriculture, fisheries, and overall human health. Infrastructure is critical for economic activity. Its failure disrupts supply chains, transportation, and commerce. 2. Economic feedback loops. Environmental degradation can lead to resource scarcity, driving up costs and reducing economic output. Disasters can destroy assets and disrupt markets. 3. Historical precedents. Societies like the Maya and Easter Island collapsed or drastically declined after depleting their environments. Modern examples include regions suffering economically after deforestation, soil erosion, or fishery collapse. 4. Adaptation and mitigation. Economic collapse is not guaranteed if societies recognize risks and invest in sustainable management and infrastructure renewal. Technological innovation, policy reforms, and restoration efforts can reverse or slow declines. 5. Complexity and uncertainty. The relationship is not linear. Some economies might adapt, while others might suffer more severely. Globalization means local collapses can have ripple effects, but also that there may be sources of support or resilience. Summary. A continued decline in natural and built infrastructure greatly increases the risk of economic collapse, but it is not inevitable. Decisive action, adaptation, and sustainable practices can mitigate or potentially prevent the worst outcomes. Ignoring these warning signs, however, increases the likelihood of severe economic consequences.